Welcome to the Predictive Playbook. I'm your host, John Ryan, and I am here with my Monday through Friday NHL and NBA pro independent bettor, and I love that word independent because he truly is, Ira Silver. So, Ira, welcome to the show. We thought we had some technical difficulties the last show, but maybe we didn't. But yeah, it was nice having Greg on, as making his debut of G Dog Sports. You know, when you're filling out spreadsheets for your dad a long time ago to keep track of the stats. I remember doing that, but I was actually doing it for myself. But it's pretty good stuff. But Ira, how's it going? And you have to be one of the hottest NHL guys on the planet. So I hope the results last night were favorable.
We had a slightly profitable night. The Maple Leafs losing as a minus 160 favorite did not help us, but we had the Nashville Predators for half a unit. That was a sizable dog at plus 140. That cashed. And the Sabres at 260 or 270, I can't remember. They went to overtime and lost. So we had some close calls there last night. Both overtime games did not go our way with the Sabres and the Maple Leafs. But we did have the Panthers, so that one went to overtime as well, I believe. It's crazy. But, yeah, slightly profitable night. And nothing more that I can ask for. Very, very small profit, but profit nonetheless.
That's good. I mean, I know we were like 31-9 on the shows when we first started, and then with our busy lives, we just didn't have time to keep tracking the profitability of the shows. But I think fair to say it's done really, really well if you followed, especially Albert of Analytics Capper, which will be on tomorrow. With you, I think, Ira, matter of fact, is how the schedule is looking. It could change, of course, but having you two guys on at the same time is, it's an ATM, folks. It's an ATM. And I don't have to say a word. And last night I should have not said, who did I say, New Jersey or Buffalo?
New Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, well, they you have to score a goal to win a game.
Yeah, that was pretty pathetic performance. But
that was.
No, it seems like every time Albert and I are on the show together, we have a very strong night. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow's show as well.
Just remember, though, if you do those NHL dogs at plus 250 or higher, it was, a 23% ROI the last 3 years? 5 years?
I think it was 5 years, yeah.
So I just happened to pick the wrong night to do it. But consistency is what matters, Like I like how Tony Finn puts it, veteran. He'll be on the next show after this, the meeting at Manny's Pub. That you're trying to put yourself as a pro bettor in position with the highest probability to win that given day. And if you do that consecutive days over weeks and months, you therefore have the best probability of making some significant profits. But I loved it on the previous show, and you know this better than anybody, Ira, with Greg. 57% is an outstanding season against the spread in any sport. I don't care what sport it is. It could be money line sport of KBO baseball, and you hit 45% and play mostly dogs and tell me you made a profit. I'll shake your hand in a heartbeat.
Oh, absolutely.
So just be careful out there with the websites. There's going to be more and more of them where they're going to tell you that, oh my God, I've hit 72% over the last 10 years. Are you kidding me? We're the best on the planet, and we just don't like our name getting out there in the public. Well, that's a bunch of crap. So, just keep that in mind. Be careful. Our show is pretty transparent, to say the least, and we have some, reputable guys, starting with Ira here, that are not afraid to say they lost when they lost. But it's been a while since he's had to say that. So let's get right to the NHL card here, Ira. I'm anxious to see what you have to say, and I'm going to pull up the Wager Talk odds here, so I can help a little bit with that.
Perfect. Not a whole lot on the card that I'm loving, but if you want to pull up those lines for everybody, that'd be great on the screen. But just to kick us off, first game, we have the Winnipeg Jets against the Ottawa Senators. Jets minus 190, favorites on the road in Ottawa. Ottawa plus 165, over under 6 goals, shaded to the over at minus 120. It looks like you're going to have Matt Murray taking on Laurent Brosseau. Matt Murray has been awful, 3.84 goals against with an 88% save percentage, while Brosseau is a 91% with a 2.63 goals against. It's hard for me to really like a whole lot in this game, but if I was gonna lean one way or the other, it would probably be the Senators and over, but really not a whole lot on this particular game.
Okay, let's move to the second one.
Yeah, I think you're on the basketball odds here on the page,
Okay,
just so everyone.
here we go. Here we go.
All right, perfect.
There we are. Minnesota up 5-2.
Yeah, it was an early game.
Why was Vancouver Edmonton postponed? Is it COVID or?
COVID. Yeah, there was a COVID positive
Yep.
for Vancouver, I believe. So next game on the board, we have the Calgary Flames taking on the Montreal Canadiens. 82% of the tickets on the Canadiens, 54% of the money on the Canadiens here. Over under 5.5 as well here, and looks like you're going to get goalies Jacob Markstrom versus Jake Allen. Both have been pretty good this year. And Calgary won the game last night, and I was hoping they would lose so that I could back them tonight against the Canadiens. So I'm not too sure how I feel about this game in particular, because that was my strategy going into last night, was fade them last night and then hop on them today as a dog. But they did look pretty good last night against the Maple Leafs. So probably a pass game for me here, and potentially an over game as well. I think I'm slightly leaning to over 5.5. Both goalies been really solid, but I think that these two offenses have the ability to push this total over the 5.5 mark. So that's where I would be leaning here.
For what it's worth, like the over too. And I actually think Calgary might be the play as the side, because if it goes over, Calgary's probably going to give them a good game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Montreal's been playing fantastic hockey as well lately, really pushing the puck, the pace, the shots. So really no side here for me. I think over 5.5 is the play with both these two solid goalies in net, even though I don't like Markstrom in particular, but both have been pretty solid as of late. So for me, I think it's go contrarian here and play the over 5.5 in this game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm looking at the chart of the performance measures of each team, and they're two of the highest in the NHL right now. Like you said, the Canadians are definitely playing at a higher level than Calgary, but they're both some of the best, like top 5 over the last 10 games right now. So I like it.
Yeah, I like over, and you can still get it 5.5 minus 110. I like it there. And then next game on the board, we have the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Los Angeles Kings. You have looks like you have 83% of the tickets on Vegas and 96% of the money on the Vegas Golden Knights as well. Still very early in the day though. Game doesn't go off for quite some time. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a game where it looks like it's going to be Fleury against Cal Peterson, and if that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and take my shot with the LA Kings here at plus 170. If Cal is the starting goalie and he is playing against Marc-Andre Fleury, I will be taking a little stab, probably a half unit, maybe one, on the LA Kings tonight at plus 170.
Yeah, that's a good one. You know me, I like those dogs that are plus 150 and higher. I can't get enough of them. Now the goalie for the Kings, you said
Cal Peterson tonight. It looks like.
Yeah, I just wanted to pull up. I like looking at his stats here. Yeah, the last 10 games played, 91.5% save percentage, 3.00 goals against. He's allowed 14 goals on 157 shots during those 10 games, so he's definitely in top form. And Jonathan Quick, is that the... And again, folks, I'm not an NHL name player expert by any stretch of the imagination. So if I sound a little awkward or I don't want to say dumb because I'm not dumb, but Jonathan Quick, is he the veteran that I know from several years ago?
He's the veteran that led the Kings to their Stanley Cup run in the early 2010 period.
Interesting, because he, I guess, is the backup, right?
Well, I think Cal's really more of the backup.
Okay.
It's really a platoon, but they're phasing. It looks like they're kind of phasing quick out, and Cal's going to be the future in Los Angeles.
Yeah, because he's played. Peterson has played a lot more over this last 10-game period, but that's good to know. That's very good to know. That veteran leadership, hopefully. I would think that Jonathan Quick, from what I remember of him, seemed to be a very stand-up guy to say the least. Would be teaching Calvin the ropes, and it's showing. So that's all good.
Yeah, no, so I think I'm going to play the Kings here at plus 170. Next game on the board, we have the Colorado Avalanche taking on the St. Louis Blues. Line in this game is Avalanche minus 175, Blues at home plus 155. Over under 5.5 goals shaded, the over minus 120 here. I'm looking at the Blues here tonight. Again, another dog. I think a lot of dogs are going to be barking tonight. I'm looking at the Blues here plus 155. Against the Colorado Avalanche. I think that they have the ability to get this done tonight, and Colorado is just kind of gliding, before they really start making their push for their Stanley Cup run. And the Blues can be feisty, as we saw a couple weeks ago when I was fading them. So, I like the Blues here tonight as a sizable dog. Probably a half unit on this one as well.
Now, would you take these two dogs, the Kings and the Blues, and do a pizza money line parlay? Because I love those kind of parlays, and it's plus 150 and higher. Those are the ones I traditionally like to do in baseball.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the last game real quick before we get into that, because there is another dog that I slightly like here, and that's the Anaheim Ducks. They're taking on the San Jose Sharks in San Jose. The Sharks right now are minus 165, Ducks 145 on the comeback, and the over-under is 6 goals shaded the under at minus 120. Looks like you're going to have in goal Anthony Stolarz for the Ducks, who's been pretty solid, 94% save percentage, 2.17 goals against Joseph Coronar. Joseph Coronar, I believe, is making his first NHL. He's making his NHL debut tonight.
Wow.
So this is a fade spot for me, just because it's his first game. Not a ton of information on him. So for me, I'm looking to maybe roll the Kings, the Blues, and the Ducks, and the over in the Montreal-Calgary game into a 14 pizza money parlay.
I love it. I love it.
It's not for the faint of heart, I'll tell you that. You're going to have some big sweats, and it's not going to be easy if it gets there. So it's maybe like, if your general bet is $100, I would probably say, let's say $100 is kind of your bet per side, or bet per total. I would probably say put $20 on it, $15 on it.
Ira, run off. I'm going to tell you what the payout is. Let's do the 3 dogs together first, and then we'll add the total as the fourth. So the 3 dogs, what can we get them at right now? Reasonably.
Looks like LA plus 170, Anaheim plus 150, and the St. Louis Blues at plus 155, let's call it.
All right, and let's say $20.
Mm-hmm.
That pays $324 and a quarter, $324.25 on a $20 bet.
3-teamer.
See, now I'm probably like starting to foam at the mouth here, because these are the bets I truly like to do, and you have to be disciplined with them. You can round robin these dogs too, which means that you would probably do $5 round robin, and then maybe a $10 on the 3 of them together, because that would come up to $25 of risk. So yeah, I like that quite a bit. And then what would be the odds on the total?
Minus 110 to the over.
All right. And now we got a $20 bet paying $637.20. And I don't want to get carried away with this, but I have seen tickets from Ira where these type of plays have hit. Now, granted, I mean, have to say, like, even if it hits 2 out of 10, it's gonna work. So don't automatically assume because of Ira's great success in this that it's going to work tonight. But I can tell you that I am going to do something with these four because I love it when it's money line dogs.
Gotta love
I wish I had
money line dogs.
Wish I had a baseball team to add to it, but
Baseball. Let's see if we can add something here. A dog, huh?
yep.
I don't really have a dog to add to the story there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't. I actually only had the one play, and obviously, what's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, I think everybody can see it because I don't like promoting myself, but I was encouraged by the Wager Talk and Sports Memo people to promote myself, so that's how I'm doing it. But baseball, as you know, Ira, I only had Cincinnati today, which is a really intriguing matchup because it's Cueto playing against his team for the fourth time since leaving them as the ace for so many years. And this guy that I studied quite a bit, and you can see that free on the video. You can also go to Sports Memo at the the internet address there on what's scrolling on the bottom, the buzz /JR, and that'll get you there too. And it's an example of what it's a full-blown research report. It's not like a normal free pick where like so many others, you just want to get a free pick out there for people to see, what you're thinking. But this is a full-blown analysis, so I think it's definitely worth going to see. And I like Cincinnati quite a bit in that matchup.
Yeah.
Anything
I was on Cincinnati as well, so I'm glad I saw your video, and you're on the same side right now. What's the score in that game? It already started.
Yeah, it did.
Let's see.
0-0, top of the fourth. Go figure.
Yep. And I'm on the Angels as well from earlier. They're down 2-1 right now on the top of the seventh, so hopefully they can make a little bit of a comeback. But I mean, listen, if you did want to throw in another sizable dog, I mean, it's probably not a great play, but if you just wanted to for S's and G's, shits and giggles, you want to throw in the Miami Marlins. I mean, they're a 210 or whatever tonight.
Hey, you and I have been in sync with them because the first pitcher of this series starts with an A.
Alcantara.
Yes. Alcantara, and then we had Lopez last night. And, I think, and I've said it before in the other shows, I think if you get them back-to-back, I think you continue to bet them. I can't imagine both of them losing in back-to-back games, and that's why it's important to play them back-to-back. In this particular case, they won. And they're both very, very good pitchers that if they were pitchers on the Dodgers, they'd be 18, 19, 20-game winners. Really, really talented group, and it extends beyond that, beyond those two. I heard a lot of talk too in a separate game, Ira, which I'm a little leery on. That Zach Wheeler, obviously he's pitched very, very well so far, and he, I can make a case he's actually the ace and not Aaron Nola, but really who cares? It's either 1-2 or 2-1 in their order. But a lot of the stuff I'm hearing is that a lot of the smart money is liking Zach Wheeler and the Phillies tonight. I'm a little leery, though, coming off a loss on a doubleheader. But I'm curious to know what you think, to try to help me here.
Yeah, let's pull the game up here on my computer. You're going to have Zach Wheeler, 2.3 ERA against David Peterson, lefty for the Mets. Looks like he's 0-1 with a 13.5 ERA. Nothing really to the Phillies lineup, right? You got McCutchen, Hoskins, Harper, Realmuto, Baum, Segura. I'm not familiar with the shortstop, Torres. And then you got the center fielder and Roman Quinn with Zach Wheeler in the pitching hole. You're going to get Nimmo, Lindor, Smith, Alonso, McNeil, Conforto, McCann, Delorme, and Peterson in the pitching hole here for the Mets. I definitely could see the Phillies tonight. I could definitely be on board with betting the Phillies here. especially coming off an embarrassing loss doubleheader yesterday.
Yeah, I guess I was trying to think it too much. Yeah, honestly, I've been doing this so long. If the line would have been minus 140 for the Phillies, I would have had no problem betting it. But the fact that it was getting closer and closer to pick 'em was making me rethink and rethink and rethink. Instead of most of the time, I would think, "Wow, I'm getting a a blue light special here."
Well, I think it's
And
also interesting if you look at the betting flows. It opened at minus 130, right? Phillies minus 130, and now it's down to about minus 118 here.
yeah,
But you only have 55% of the tickets on the Phillies, with only 50% of the money on on the Phillies. So it's not like it doesn't look like a sharp action on the Mets, right? I think it's more like recency bias with the public here. Am I right or am I wrong?
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. And it could be the simple fact that there's far more Mets fans, bettors. It's kind of like when UCLA and USC was in the NCAA tournament. A lot of those people stayed in Vegas because of that. So,
Right.
In a similar fashion, there's a lot more Yankees and Mets bettors, especially when they start getting hot. You're going to see the volume surge. I'm trying to think of another. Well, Boston Red Sox would be another example. They're playing well right now, so the line is going to start getting inflated here by anywhere from 10 to 25 cents on any given day until they level out. Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because I am going to play the Mets tonight. That might be my best bet for the show.
You mean the Phillies?
The Phillies, God. It's no excuse that I'm doing 6 shows today, and I guess that's probably too many. For somebody my age, I guess. I don't know.
No, you got to keep it going.
Yeah, you just build up the endurance. But the last one of these games, not the last game, but Colorado, the Dodgers. All right, so the Dodgers are the juggernaut. They're the favorites to win the World Series, and rightfully so. They can have injuries and still win it. But this game kind of intrigues me not to bet the Dodgers right away because obviously they're minus 255, they're minus 275. But the Rockies they have some bats, and I'm going to wait and play it in game, looking for Colorado to get up 2-0 before the Dodgers put on their show. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But that way, I'm estimating I'm going to be paying about minus 150 to bet the Dodgers down 2-0. And I like that number a lot better than minus 260 because that's almost at that plus 250 number too, that if you play dogs of 250 or higher in Major League Baseball just blindly, over the last 10 years, I think there was 2 seasons where you didn't make money. The rest of them you would have made money. Some of the years you would have made a modest amount, not even worth talking about. But do you like that idea, or is that just a crazy strategy?
I mean, if I was going to play anything in this game, it would be the Rockies. But if you're going to go with the in-game strategy, yeah, I wouldn't bet the Dodgers pre-flop. If you like that side, I would wait. But I could totally see the Rockies stealing a game here.
Yeah, I mean they did in the first series, opening day.
Yeah, and Gray's not great, but he's solid. Righty this year, obviously 1 start, 1-0, 1.54 ERA against Dustin May, who's obviously we know is fantastic. And the Dodgers lineup is juiced. But I think that like you said, the Rockies can hit the ball. I think they can get after the Dodgers here. So if you're gonna bet the Dodgers, it would be only in game for me. But I'm always intrigued by plus 230 dogs in baseball, plus 220, plus anything over like 180 dogs in baseball. I love. So it's scary to bet against the Dodgers here, but at the same time, you're getting a good price, right?
Yeah, I just ran a query. Favorites of minus 250 or more in games where the opponent scored first and scored 2 or fewer runs. So they scored first, meaning they scored 1 or 2 runs before the favorite answered. And it's pretty amazing. But it also shows that how dangerous it is playing big favorites. because this is not reflecting in-game. This is reflecting pre-flop. So
Correct.
the average line is 286. And the win percentage since 2004 is 894 wins, 223 losses for 80% winners after the favorite of 250 or more being down 2-0 or 1-0. And that's an ROI of 8.2%, which isn't too bad. A $100 better since 2004, if you would have done this, is up $26,330. That's nuts. And the run line's even better. The run line ROI is 12.4, but the profit's only $15,510 for the $100 better since 2004. But 585, 314 on the money line for 65%. Average line minus 140. So if they get up, it actually could be lower. I can't imagine the in-game betting line would go down to minus 130 for the Dodgers being down 2-0 early.
If it was the fourth or fifth inning, it might be fifth inning.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
But I kind of like the over in that game. If you think Colorado's going to score, 3 runs, I don't see how it doesn't get over the total of 7.5 here. Plus, it looks like the betting flows are good. The tickets are under. 59% of the tickets are under, with 79% of the money on the over. Seems like a good betting flow here.
Yeah, I like that too. Yep. Yeah, you have the. Yeah, that actually is the bet, I think, Ira. See, that's what's good about these shows, because we talk and then all of a sudden something comes to light that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. And you're positively right. 59% of the under tickets, 79% of the money is over. And 7.5 at Westgate is minus 115, which is the highest I will pay. But bookmakers minus 113. I'm willing to bet.
I'm still seeing minus 110 where I'm at.
Yeah, so I mean, if you shop it around, you can definitely find it. On any given night, either one of those teams could score 7 runs on their own merit. I like that bet quite a bit. Let's make that a show bet.
Done. Over in the Dodgers. Over 7.5 in the Dodgers.
So let's recap what we have for the show here. We have over Dodgers, Rockies. We have Kings plus 170. We have over 5.5. Montreal, Calgary. And the other 2 dogs were
the Blues and the
Blues and the Ducks. And I guess the Ducks were 155.
Looks like 145 to 150 right now. Line looks like
okay.
It's happening.
And the Blues were 150.
Blues are 155, I see.
155, okay. And for pizza money, we are going to parlay over Montreal, Calgary, Kings, Blues, Ducks. I'm going to round robin the 3 dogs on the money line. And then do you think the 5-teamer is worth it?
Adding what?
The Dodgers over.
The over, yeah.
So we have a 4-teamer and a 5-teamer in addition to the 4 picks by Ira. The only pick I have here is the over in the Dodgers Rockies, which you agree with. So actually you have all 5 in agreement.
And you can throw in a 6 if you like. You could throw in the Phillies. Again, it's all going to come down. It's all going to come to the NHL plays, right? I think that the over in the Dodgers game is going to hit. I think that the Phillies are going to take the victory there. I think over 5.5 goals is going to happen in the Montreal game. It's all going to come down to the dogs. So it really just whatever your appetite for risk is. It's a very risky play, as I like to say. But it shouldn't be more than 15-20% of your betting.
Normal bet size.
Normal bet size. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, so like on the round robin, if you bet $100, you probably want to do $5 round robin on the 3 dogs in the NHL. And you could take the other 3 plays, the over Montreal, Calgary, the over in the Dodgers, and the Phillies. Round robin them for $5. Nothing wrong with that either. And then if you want to put $5 on all six, you're gonna be able to eat tomorrow and put gas in your car and pay the mortgage.
If
So,
it wins, yeah.
and even if it doesn't win, you still can do it. You're not betting over your head, and it's
You're
all
right. Exactly.
small amounts, but small amounts that can pay off big. Well, anyway, I guess
One other question for you. Any thoughts on the Seattle-Baltimore game for you?
the Seattle Baltimore game.
Down below, 921, 922.
Yep, Sun and Harvey. I don't. I have systems on both teams. Machine learning prediction was it produced a quotient of 50, which means perfectly neutral, which is pretty rare to get 50. It's usually 53 or 47 or 46. There's usually a slight edge, but here it's saying that the market is perfectly priced.
Wow. That's
Do
crazy.
you like a side or not?
Do I like a side? No,
Yeah.
no. I'm just curious if you had anything on that game. I was thinking about it. I was thinking of Orioles, but no real strong opinion or anything.
Oh, I think I ran this. I ran a query, but I changed that. It was, Musgrove pitched a no hitter, so I was putting him in as how pitchers do following a no hitter, and I know it can carry over to one or two or three or four more games, four more starts, but then the volume seems to catch up to these guys. But I mean, I don't care who it was against. You can say Texas is borderline Major League Baseball caliber, but it's still a no hitter, and 10 strikeouts with no walks. So,
Well, all I'm gonna say is we got to root for the Reds. Bottom of the fourth, 0-0, 1 out.
well, the one thing I can tell you is that the machine learning said that Male would pitch a quality start, which is 6 innings or more, and no more than 3 earned runs, and that the Reds would score at least 4 runs. Those two parameters combined, the Reds are 29-1 on the money line and the run line, and that's what we're looking to have happen here.
I like that. Yeah, so
So,
hopefully they eke out this victory after losing last night. So, I mean, they scored a bunch of runs last night, but they lost. I had a small play on the Giants, but nothing like major.
yep,
Just for fun, late night game,
yep. Well, I guess we'll see what happens, Ira. I appreciate you being on the show, and everybody gets more great picks here. Anything else?
And what's your NBA system of the day?
Oh, you know what? I did not send one in today because of just being so incredibly busy. So my apology on that. We'll have one for tomorrow, for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
You like anything in NBA?
Well, there's a little thing down here at the bottom.
Well, yeah, guys, you gotta go there, use the promo code. I mean, this is a big play. I mean, John doesn't really do these big plays often, so if it's a big play, he thinks he's got a big edge. So you gotta participate in that 100%.
And it's a sports memo promotion, so it's not me giving the 50% off. But they feel strong enough about it to get everybody possible to get on board. So, as Ira knows, I really watch the games, and I probably won't watch this one either because sometimes when I have a 10-unit play going, it's like Moneyball with Billy Bean in the movie where he just never watched a game at home or on the road. He never traveled with the team, and he still doesn't. And I feel like sometimes it's just better off I don't watch and then kind of tune in and then tune it back off quick, tune it back in. Just like he does in the stands when he's listening to his team get beat by the Yankees in 2001. But anyway, that's we'll find out. Everybody will know the answer certainly by midnight tonight.
Yeah, I would say like the one very confident play I have is the Calgary Montreal over 5.5. The rest, obviously are for half units as being, underdogs here. And then we're doing the parlay for small money. So
Yep.
That's kind of wrapping up the show there. That's where I'm
Yeah.
at.
Cool. So, Ira, thanks for being on the show. He'll be back tomorrow. His time slot seems to be moving more towards the 4 o'clock hour, and we'll try to make that as consistent as possible so you know when he's on and you don't have to guess if it's going to be 2 or 3 or 4. But I think we're probably targeting 4 o'clock for tomorrow. So we'll look forward to seeing you guys then. And for Ira Silver Magic and myself in the Predictive Playbook, may all the wins be yours.